Have you ever wondered how to fix those rough spots in your yard? If you had to access your yard when it was rutted or wet, or even if you just have rough spots in your yard, today's video we're going to cover several different ways that you can cover using sand to fix your yard. No time flat, we'll have you a flat level yard. All right guys, let's get into it. Now this is the first thing that we've got to do right now. This is a project that if you ever have to get into your yard and you have a little rut or anything like that that's not super major and you want to fix it, the easiest way to do it is actually add sand. If you look at these ruts right through here, it's not much, but you can definitely feel a little impression where I had to drive through there the other day. So basically what you want to do is get some sand, lightly rake it in, and it'll fill in, that grass will grow right on through it. Now, whenever you're doing this, there's two actual ways, the easiest way to do this. You need your old-fashioned regular rake, which works fine. But if you have a big rake, this is a 36-inch rake with a flat edge on the back. If you look right here, it's got that flat edge. And what that does, that really gets you to where you can rake that in and then scrape it across the top of the grass and it levels it off. It gives you a nice, kind of a screed, kind of like when you're doing concrete. We mess up a lot of yards through the years when we're going in taking equipment, we're moving, doing projects. If we're in the backyard or we get to the front yard, sometimes in spring, we just really mess up some yards. So this is a nice, easy trick that you could do. You could use topsoil, things like that if it's a little deeper, but if you use sand, this will actually allow the grass to grow right on through it. It's a pretty simple technique, but boy, it comes in handy. All right, so the first thing you want to do is basically just kind of toss it out. So what you want to do is just kind of take your shovel and just kind of slide it down through there. And the big thing about it is a nice, easy way of fixing things to where you don't have to sit there and really worry about your lawn. It'll grow right on through it, no problem. Okay, let me show you how you do it with a regular rake. So what you want to do, you can't use the front part of your rake with the teeth. You've got to use the back. So it works fine. Or let's do it with a regular garden rake first, show you how you do it. So you turn it upside down with the back of your rake. Just to kind of do that. Screed it along through there. And that's it. And that'll fix most of your uneven spots. Okay, now let me show you how we do it with the big rake. So it's the same process, but see how it really gets in there and really you can kind of flatten it out, just like screeding concrete almost, essentially. You can just really get this thing flattened out and it just, no time flat, you can have a little spot fixed. Okay, well this really, that kind of shows you, this is where we use the flat big rake. You can kind of see it's a little smoother. This is the regular rake, but this is the easiest way to actually fix any type of ruts. This is a simple, easy way, and in a couple weeks, it'll grow right on through it and you'll never see it. So now let me show you a little bigger project that I'm doing with my sand around some posts where I'm just kind of leveling up. I'll show you that. Well, as you can see, I got a little zealous on my filling of this spot. I got a little extra sand, so I guess we're going to be moving this around a little bit. Let me show you a better post. That'll give you a better idea of how to straighten it up without so much sand. That was a poor example on my part, wasn't it? So the big thing about this sand is you just want to keep it about 2 or 3 inches. You don't want it to get to where it's super thick, because that'll give you problems. If you keep it thin and light and do it several different lifts, then it'll really grow through and you will never have any issues. It works like a champ. Okay, well now you can see right here, this is a real rough spot. We had some utility work done here this year, and so whenever they left, for the rest of the summer, I've been just touching up different spots and low spots and just trying to fill them all in. This is another area that I've been kind of working on. Now it was fairly deep, so what I had to do is I actually put some topsoil in there because it was about a 3-foot hole. And you're not gonna hurt the Bermuda at all on this, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna kind of irritate it. We're gonna just stir this up, soften it up a little bit. If you go back to last week and you watch our aerating video, this is kind of the same approach, but what we're going to do here is we're just going to soften the soil up, break it up. You can't hurt the Bermuda. All you're going to do is irritate it and it's going to spread faster. That's how it works. But then now that I've got this built up and the big hard part of the whole field, I'm gonna come back in and put my sand on top of it the first time. Now I may end up having to do this a couple times to get it exactly over time, because the sand will wash a little bit and feather out. But over time, if you do this once or twice, you could have this to where it's basically a nice, easy smooth spot. It's not a big deal. Okay, now you can see what I've done right here. I've got that spread out. Now the one thing you're going to notice is that whenever you have your small hole, how far you got to feather it out. So this hole really is not that wide. It's about 1 foot 16 inches wide, but we're out about 3 feet. So basically what you got to do is you just got to feather the sand in all the way around. You got to get it fairly close to level, but don't just worry about getting it exactly level, because every time it rains, that sand's going to wash into those holes and divots, and it'll find its own level. You know, good hard rain, this thing will level out exactly what it needs. So just get it close. Don't stress about getting it perfect, because Mother Nature will take care of the rest. Now, what you're going to find is see how the Bermuda is actually growing through everything right here? That's what you want. You want the Bermuda kind of sticking through, poking through the middle of it. And what'll happen is it'll, over time, it's just going to pop up. And if we came back in about 2 weeks, this thing would be completely grown out and you wouldn't even hardly see the sand anymore. It happens that quick. So that's just another spot. Sand's pretty useful. What I've done now is I've got the sand scraped, worked out around it, and we're going to level this in. I'll tell you what, guys, I don't know if you are like me, but this is a project I need to get done. I've been sitting here all summer looking at this. Posts have started to rust a little bit. It's just surface rust, not going to be a big deal, but it's going to take a minute to get that all cleaned up. I tell you, I got a few more posts and a little bit of fence to build, that's for sure. That's this winter's project. Hopefully we can get this fence built. That'll keep me out of trouble for a minute. I don't know if you guys have any issues like that with your wives. My wife's about to have my tail because I haven't got this done. Now, when your sand is really, really thick, like it is right here, you can lightly go over the top of it and use the front part of your rake to kind of filter it into the grass. There's no right or wrong reason here, but that's kind of how I do it. I hold my rake at about a 45-degree angle or a little better, and just kind of pull it through the sand. And what that does is that gets that grass kind of popping up through it, kind of hooks it. See how I've got that grass kind of hooked up and everything? And what that does, that helps that grass kind of get a better start. A little sunlight and kind of works it in. So there you go, kind of work that out. And then I'll come back in and I'll screed it off flat and level. See how that works out pretty slick. All right, so now you can see where I've got that kind of pulled through and feathered out. And look over here where the grass, see how I've got the grass and everything really coming through? That just really helps that stuff get some sunlight, and you'll be amazed how fast that'll grow through, and you'll have a lawn and no hole in no time. Let's talk about sand covering concrete areas. But before we get to that, would you guys please do a like, subscribe? I sure would appreciate it. All right, let's get on to it. Okay, this is another good example of what we need to do with sand to fill in. So this is an overpour on a concrete pillar. When I was doing all this, I wasn't sure exactly what kind of post I was going to do. So when I did it, I just kind of overpoured them a little wide, but they're always have been a little high. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take that sand and we're going to feather it off like we've been doing, show you how that works. Now, one thing I really like about sand is how easy it is to use. And it goes quick, simple. That's the one thing that I just truly love about sand, and how fast it is versus topsoil. Now on this, I've got about a 3-inch height of this. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna spread this out about 3 or 4 or 5 feet and really spread it out to where it kind of feathers out and make it a nice gentle slope. So whenever the grass grows through, it'll be a gentle and you really won't even notice it's here. If you had a yard and you're pretty particular about it, go through and lightly do this 2 or 3 times and you'll never even see it. And so your neighbors will never even know you did it. Okay, you can see what we've got here. Everything we got it all raked down, everything's smoothed out, and we got it pretty tapered slowly. So when this grass grows through there, it ought to be easy enough to mow. We won't even know it's there, and we've covered up the concrete. All right. Well, it's that simple. So another thing that you could do is top dressing, and it's a mechanical version. Essentially what it looks like is anything that you're spreading, a fertilizer or something along those lines, it actually just spreads it out, broadcasts it out into an even pattern. And so you see a lot of that on golf courses and things like that. So that is top dressing, and that's if you need to do the entire yard. Now I have seen some versions of it that are homeowner grades that would fit in a normal yard. Now I've never tried it, but that I've seen it, and that'd open up a whole new possibilities. Boy, you could really have a nice smooth yard if you could do that all the time. Well guys, I think that's where we're going to leave it. This is a good stopping point. Unless you guys want to hop in and help me do the rest of these poles, I won't bore you having to do the rest of these poles in the sand. It's going to get a little monotonous, but if you guys want to stop by and help, I'll take the help for sure. Well guys, this is where we're going to leave it. I'll see y'all next week. Thank you so much.